Are you looking for a new whiskey adventure? Then climb in and buckle up. Get ready for one hell of a ride on the Whiskey Trip podcast with your host, Big Chief. Join in as he and his guests explore whiskey and dive into whiskey stories from around the world. Now here's your host, Big Chief.
Folks, you know, here on the Whiskey Trip, we celebrate more than just the pour in our glass. We celebrate heritage, tradition, and the stories that make this country what it is. That's why I'm proud to tell you about our friends at the Heritage Flag Company. These aren't just flags, they're handcrafted works of art built from whiskey and bourbon barrels that once held the spirit we all love. Every cut, every nail, every burn mark tells a story of patience and craftsmanship. Just like the whiskey we sip, these flags are bold, timeless, and full of character. Whether you hang one in your home bar, your man cave, or gift it to a veteran or first responder, a heritage flag isn't just decor. It's a statement. It says you believe in freedom, tradition, and the legacy we pass down. So saddle up, whiskey family, and head over to theheritageflag.com. Use code WhiskeyTrip10 at checkout for 10% off your order. Let them know Big Chief sent you. Because just like your favorite pour, the Heritage Flag Company is made to be shared, honored, and remembered. Now let's get on to the show.
Hey, it's old Big Chief, and yeah, you're taking another ride on a whiskey trip, baby. And as you can see, I'm on the road. I'm here in the distillery. I'm actually here at War Trail Spirits here in Llano, Texas. Yeah, that's in the hill country, baby. My home. Yeah, this is actually the deer capital of the world. They can say deer capital of Texas, but let's get real. Deer hunting here, it's a way of life. And I've got the owners and the distillers of War Trail here. I've got Laurie and Bernard with me. Welcome to the Whiskey Trip, my friends.
Well, thanks, Big Chief.
You guys ready for this? You ready for this conversation?
We're ready. Let's
ready.
do it.
Well, the first thing listeners are going to and viewers are going to notice is set behind us is this steel back here, and it doesn't look like any other steel. I know some of you have seen this steel back here at Blacklands up in Fort Worth, but you guys have a nice steel as well. Actually, you have two of them.
Yep.
You have an experimental one and this big giant daddy here. Let's talk about that a little bit first. But let me talk about this whiskey that I got in my glass. You guys poured for me. What is this whiskey right here?
This is our County Road product. This is a 2-year bourbon, cut with a little GNS and finished in French oak. So what we're trying to do with this is if you are a mixed drink maker, you make whiskey cokes, whiskey lemonade, whiskey Dr. Pepper, we wanted you to taste the whiskey through that.
Not just tasting the mixer, but actually being able to taste the whiskey that's in there. And I think with the double oak finish, you get that little spice which breaks through that barrier.
A little bit of Dr. Pepper in there. That spice. I could get that spice coming out of it.
Yeah.
80 proof. It's a nice, cool drink. This would be nice on a spring day or even in the summertime.
Yeah.
I think this would be on a hot Texas day, hot day across America. This would be nice to sip on even.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to drink whiskey vanilla Coke, and then this sort of replaces the Coke because it's got so many vanillas in it to my palate.
Yeah, I could get that a little bit. I get some fruits on there, some darker fruits.
Mm-hmm.
I get some nectarine and some peach on this. We stopped in San Saba, another capital, the pecan capital of the world, people, where pecans come from. But we stopped there, and I got some pecan brittle, and I get that pecan brittle in this right here.
All right.
Yeah.
I think we need our flavor wheel here.
He's the flavor wheel.
Yeah.
A walking, talking flavor wheel.
Now, hey, this is a Big Chief only thing right here in this distillery right here. I tell you what, a whiskey cocktail, whiskey sour, and you take that crushed pecan brittle and rim the glass of it.
Oh, it seems like we have a new cocktail here.
Yeah, and then
sounds
sprinkle a little on top. Man, you talk about,
Ooh-wee.
yeah. That's the best of both worlds right there. Have you guys ever did that? I've never seen anybody do that.
No.
No.
We're very experimental. I mean, we have
Now we're going to have to go try it.
we have something like 65 cocktails on our menu in our tasting room, and then we rotate seasonally. So we have 9 seasonal cocktails this week. Just started out.
Just debuting today, our holiday menu. I say we have a lot to unpack here.
A lot to unpack. So you guys, you're not from the whiskey business. Take me how did War Trail start?
We're big planners, so we like to plan many years in advance. We're sort of regimented like that, and our kids were getting a little bit older, and we were like, okay, well, they're headed, towards the end of high school, and they're going to head off to college. And we had separate careers. I was in shipping and logistics my whole life, which is very much a 24/7 business. She worked from home for the same company that she worked for in New York previously, so that it was 12-hour days. And we wanted to spend more time together. We wanted to have a business together, and we wanted to do something fun. We're not the retiring type that we just can't. That's
We have to keep moving.
Yeah,
No rest.
We cannot
You got to be
retire.
on that damn
Yeah.
war trail.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Exactly. So we started joking around like, hey, why don't we make whiskey? And we were like, are you serious? Are you serious? Are you serious? So we got a little serious about it, and we went and we would talk to anybody that would talk to us.
That's my kind of people right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
You
we-
talk about whiskey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo. Work for free, whatever we could do. We would travel all over the place to look at various stills, take a look at, what's involved, just dove down as deep as we possibly could. And we worked on your traditional stills, but because we did not come from this business, I think that we didn't have that pressure to be like, the family brand. We could do something a little different. So this still, our I still is, we say traditional with a modern twist.
Yes. That's our slogan.
So we wanted to make a pure Texas product. Texas is, has given a lot to us. We are not from Texas, but we are Texans. It just took us a while to get here.
That's right.
Hey, you're no different. I want to point this out to you damn people out there who think you're all Texan. You're no different than Sam Houston.
That's right.
You're no different than Davy Crockett.
Right,
They got
right,
here as
right,
fast as they could get here.
That's the bumper sticker.
There's nobody more serious than a convert. So we are Texans. I own several pairs of cowboy boots, as does she, hats, and the whole works.
The whole works. So we came in and we just dived in and dived deep. That's for sure.
Now, listeners, that wasn't something breaking. That's the ice falling out.
We're very dramatic with the ice
we
here,
just
too.
we just broke the ice right here.
So we investigated a bunch of different stills before we came to iStill. We actually looked at a still called Genio Still, which is out of Poland. It didn't have everything that the iStill had, and then that led us to iStill. And the maker of iStill is very, he's almost like a punk rocker. He rejects everything that happened before and really into modern. It did speak to us a lot, and it did fix a lot of problems. It's not a set it and forget it type of still, but it does do some things for us that like turn itself on. Back in the day, we'd have to go up 2 o'clock in the morning, go into the distillery, turn the still on, and sleep on a cot, and you do that twice a week, and it's not a great sleep. So
Not really.
this does turn itself on, on a timer, and does some nice stuff for us that we can do. And it was important because we still had corporate careers. We still were working, and we needed to, temper that in, so nights, weekends, and stuff like that. So.
Right, we wanted to bring modernization to the traditional, making of whiskey.
Yeah, it spoke to us, and the productivity of it is good, and all in one unit where you don't have to pump between fermenters and stripping stills, and we did do that. I mean, we did the steps, but this just
It wasn't going to work for us.
No.
So, Laurie, you're the distiller,
Yes.
and I want to point out they're married,
Husband and wife team here.
but they get along great. We spent a couple hours with them now, getting a sense of their humor and stuff. But Laurie, you're the distiller.
Yeah.
Bernard over here is the tinker. I seen a package come in, and he's like a kid in a candy store. Went over there,
He
and
is.
opened it up, and I
He opens up all the packages in the mail.
whenever I see somebody like that gets excited about this business and stuff, and it doesn't seem like it's a drain. You guys met me with smiles on your face, and sometimes I'll go into distillers and they're just like, he's just another podcaster. Oh man, I got to do this marketing thing that sucks. But you guys met me and showed me your you opened up the books pretty much for me and said, "Look, here you go, Big Chief," and took everything I had to say. Now, you might cry later tonight whenever I leave and say, man, that guy, God almighty, we wish we wouldn't have invited him in. But I do appreciate that. But you being a distiller, and you're a new distiller,
Yes.
has there been a lot of learning curve?
Oh, yes. Every day is a learning curve here. I mean, I remember the first time that I did it. I was just like, oh, my gosh, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this. And, and I think that's, everyone seems to, I like to slowly move into things. And I'm just like, there's so much to learn. And I didn't really have, everyone always asks me, do you have a science background? I'm like, no, but, these are things, you learn a process and you learn to maneuver to those processes, and you learn the equipment that you're working on, and you learn the intricacies of that, and that's how you build a craft. And I think at this point now, I feel, when we used to say, well, you're the distiller, I'm like, I am? And now I can say, yeah, you know what? Hell yes, I am the distiller, and we're knocking it out of the park.
Well, being confident in yourself I think is important and stuff, and believing in your craft. Now, have you had some people that help raise you up, helped you out?
Sure, yeah.
Who are some of those people?
We've asked for help with different people and so forth.
The Texas Whiskey Association has been very kind. We're members of it, and we reach out to a lot of them for a lot of different reasons. Some of them very technical, like a cooling topic and what size pump do you use? Because, the cool thing about Texas whiskey is almost nobody is like anybody else. And almost everybody's had to learn very much on their own. In Kentucky, there's a lot of shared knowledge, but in Texas, everybody's really had to learn very much on their own. And we noticed that, moving from Houston, where our still was, to here, just those changes, altitude and lack of humidity and things like this, all made a big difference.
Right. I think early on, though,
Distillery now.
I'm going to say, let's just start at the beginning. In the beginning where, we have the business background, and what we needed to learn was the intricacies. How does this business work, right? How do you make the whiskey? How do you do this and that and the business and put it all together? We were confident that we could, the marketing side of it and the sales side, we kind of had that kind of background, learn the intricacies of that. But we reached out to a consultant. Some people say, well, did you need to? And it's like, you know what? It has a place, and it really helped us not make these stupid mistakes, because we all make the same mistakes, it seems like, because like, oh, yeah, I did that. It's like, okay. And I said, because we've talked to some people too, after we've done the consulting in the early stages with Distillery Now, Chris. Mm-hmm. And he was a huge help with, giving us some direction where maybe we in the beginning, when we were mapping out how we were going to come to market and start our craft, and save us from those mistakes that we were starting to go down the path. It's like, well, maybe you shouldn't do this and you do this. And it's like, you're right. So, and we've actually have now helped out people too that are in the beginning stages. Because what we have found out early on too is that we were talking to a lot of people, and everyone is very welcoming, and they want to share their story, because we are all different. And what may work for one distillery and for another may not work for another, but it gives you another idea of like, okay, I didn't think of that, and it can help you. It's like, okay, let's work through this together. So there is a camaraderie in the industry, which we were really surprised, because I thought it was going to be more close-knit, where it's like, it's my secret and I'm not telling anybody. But it's not really like that. We all like to share our stories and be able to help each other.
I mean, there is some close and stuff, and some people keep some secrets, but most people, I would say 90% of the distillers across America, especially the craft distillers, they are open book and say, hey, this is how it works. Now, what really pisses me off is whenever a giant like Heaven Hill or let's say even Maker's Mark, I'll show you craft guys how to do this. Well, they don't know. They do not know how to be a craft distiller. Mm-hmm. They know how to be a giant in the industry. Right. and they're going to tell you to hire marketing consultants, hire a team of people to do this and that and this and that, but you don't have that kind of budget, right?
No,
So
no.
they don't.
We don't have an unlimited expense account, as I like to say.
Yeah, so it's nice to hear that you give some credit out there to both the Texas Whiskey Association and to a consulting company. I'd love to come back in the future and say, hey, how do you feel about those things now? And kind of get your thoughts on that. And the other thing I noticed, you're almost the complete opposite of some people, because most people don't understand the marketing side of the house versus the distilling side of the house. They have a good understanding of the distilling side, but hey, I think it's great that you understand that you are new to this and you had some stuff to learn, and you went out there and sought it out instead of saying, you know what, I'll just Google this today. We'll get on TikTok and we're going to figure this out.
No AI here.
No AI here. Yeah, so I think that's good. What about other, it's really rare to have a woman distiller, know, and I wouldn't say I've met every woman distiller out there, but I would say I know over 50% of the women distillers in America. And if you're a woman distiller out there and you haven't been on a whiskey trip, come take a ride with me. Let's tell your story. But do you feel like there's any difference between what a man can do and a woman can do as a distiller?
I'm going to say yes and no. I mean, there are, for me, I'm a smaller person. So, I don't have a grain auger yet. So I have to rely on getting
the heavy stuff.
He lifts the heavy stuff. But I think if you have a passion for, I think anybody could do it in the sciences. And you don't necessarily have to have a science background, female, male. I just think that if you love doing it, there should be no barriers to jump in and do it. Yeah, it is a male-driven industry, has been, and it's nice to change it up a little bit and add a little more.
When we get a grain elevator, I'm fired.
That she can find a new husband?
No.
Not fired as a husband, just as a business partner. She's like, you're looking at that evil laugh. She's like,
we can't afford one of those right now, but
so this
it's on the wish list.
This next,
this is our Broken Halo, and our mash bill on that is 80 corn, 20 rye. And the Broken Halo, our standard is 94 proof. So a really good proof point for drinking straight or old fashions, Manhattans, because of the high rye content. No malted barley in our mash bill. That is unusual. We did do that on purpose. We found that malted barley in the Texas heat interacted with each barrel so differently that we would have flavor profiles that were very, very different by barrel. And because we're craft, we're dumping 6 barrels at a time. Each batch would taste different. And she is very scientifically minded. She's not going to put up with.
I'm a perfectionist. I think that's the right word.
Well, I was being kind.
Yeah,
So we wanted to. Actually, our inspiration of this was Yellow Rose in Houston made an outlaw bourbon that was 100% corn, and they had a low roof storage area, and it was hot as.
When you walked in, there was whoosh.
Yeah, it just felt like whiskey was assaulting you in the air, and that was a really fun bourbon for 100% corn. And we were like, you know what, let's go back to the drawing board. Let's go back to our flavor profiles. What is it that we can strip it down to make an easy drinking Texas bourbon? And our goal is an easy drinking Texas bourbon. Something that looks pretty enough to put on a shelf. We did start hand numbering all the bottles.
Painstakingly.
And she regrets that mightily now, but we're too far down the road to peel that back.
Well, hey, you got to do it sometimes. You got to put the effort in. I just want to be honest with listeners here. I have written some negative reviews in the past, and Yellow Rose was one of them back in the day when I got a handle on it and stuff. And I was just so excited about it because my wife's middle name is Rose. Yellow Rose is Texas. She was born in Texas, and her mom and dad would look like she looks like a yellow rose when she was born.
Okay.
And so I was excited to taste this Yellow Rose whiskey outlaw, right? And I just didn't find the outlaw in it. That was my big hit on it. It just didn't have the punch for me.
And that's okay, because I always say, as long as you're drinking whiskey,
Well,
It
that's
doesn't have to be mine, but as long as you're drawing whiskey and not something else.
that's not a problem. That's not a problem in my department. But the thing in the writing was on the wall. There were some marketing issues with Yellow Rose and stuff. And do you feel like you could go back and look at some of those distilleries, or think, hey, maybe I'll call some of those distillers that they are now defunct, they went out of business, they filed bankruptcy or whatever, they're no longer a distiller, and call them and say, hey, where did you go wrong? Have you ever thought about doing that?
I think that's a great idea. I mean, you really learn from failures, right? So most of your knowledge that you ever get in business is from making a mistake. So definitely that sounds like a great idea because, we've made plenty.
Yeah, we've made plenty. And I think when we do read about it, we ourselves take a little retrospect and say, what do you think went wrong? We're like, did they think they grew too fast? Because
Right.
we're babies right now, and we're trying to grow the business, and we're trying to do in steps where it's, manageable and not going into debt and so forth like that. And we're like, okay. And you see, like, people are closing and stuff like that. And like, okay, is it too much? Did they overextend themselves? Was it their whiskey and the taste? So we kind of do that ourselves right now. Have we reached out to anyone specifically? No, but that is a great idea.
Yeah, I think it is worth the call,
Yeah.
and just to see if they'll give you honest feedback and
Yeah.
say, hey, we put too much money into marketing. We outkicked the coverage, right?
Yeah.
Football term, but we got too big for our britches. We went into too many states. I think for craft distilleries now, online sales are kind of evening the playing field against these bigger distillers and stuff. Well, let me taste this right here. Let's see. Now, what you said, this is 80-20, 80% corn.
20% rye.
What kind of corn?
Yellow Dent 4.
And then what about the
Elbon
rye?
rye.
Okay. Well, I've definitely had that before. But I would tell you that the neat thing about this is Monongahela rye whiskey is a 80-20, but it's 80% rye, 20% corn. So when you said that before to me, I was like, that's something different. So I don't know that I've had a 80-20 before in a bourbon.
Yeah, we don't know anyone else who has this mash bill, but it fits us. Our profile on this, we're looking for sweet spicy.
Somebody in his basement right now is watching this, and he's going to be
Taking
like,
our secrets.
Big Chief, no, he's going to tell me, hey, this is where this is from. Go ahead and tell me. I'd love to know. You got the time. I mean, hey, I'm here for it. Send me an email, Mike at the Whiskey Trip. Tell me if there's another out there. I'd love to know. But beautiful whiskey, that right amount of spice. I'm kind of surprised by that and stuff. That is a, back in the day, that would have been a 20%. 20% would have been considered a high rye, but that's not a high rye anymore, right? It's it's kind of a medium rye.
Right.
So
Right.
I get a little bit of peanut on this,
Okay.
not that pecan brittle, but peanut brittle. I get that corn forward to me. And I know, listeners, I got the same old tasting notes. But guess what? Chris Morris from Woodford Reserve and Brown Forman has the same. He made a damn tasting wheel. But so I got to make a Big Chief tasting wheel. But I get kettle corn on this from that country fair.
Yeah.
And they dump that sugar in there.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of brown sugar kiss on there, but it's pretty damn tasty. Now, what's the proof on this?
94.
And what's your price point on this right here?
$49.99 is our
And then-
MSRP.
And then the
Barrel strength,
no, not the barrel strength, but the first one I tried.
$27 is our MSRP.
$27. So you guys are trying to get the blue collar dude out there to be able to drink some whiskey
Yeah.
with
That's
you.
right.
An upgrade,
Right.
an upgrade over.
And I think one of the things too, when we were pulling together, like what was important to us, why is there another whiskey company need to be out there, is that we had looked at what we thought were maybe voids in the market and where we could find a position, and price point was one of them. And so we did not, we basically started off with the price point and worked down to where we needed to be with our mash and our production and stuff like that. Sometimes you create a product and you might be out of the price point of where you want it to be. So we were very cognizant of price point when developing everything for every day.
Awesome. I love it. Now, why the name Broken Halo?
We were in Nashville. And
Here we go.
couldn't-
Here's dirty laundry.
We couldn't think of a name. We had a whole book of names, and we went out. We decided we were at a campground there
Yes.
in our RV.
Yeah, we were RVing for a little bit of time.
And
Like in a bus, like a school bus?
No, we
Winnebago.
We had a Winnebago driving
Oh, so
Winnebago.
rich campers.
Yeah, we did about 6 months in an RV, and we're like, we're never doing that
Yeah,
again.
it was not for us. Cause
Were you in a robe and one of those hats out there?
No,
and so
no,
shitter's full.
That was. We're not far from that. We're like, we have to get back to work. We're not having too much time on our hands.
was not a good thing for us.
It's not a good thing for us. So we went out drinking because we were frustrated. We couldn't think of a name. And
That's a good thing to do right there.
The next day we were hungover, so we said we broke our halos last night, and everyone thought it was the Chris Stapleton song, and I'm more of like a heavy metal guy, so I was like, when we filed the trademark for it, the trademark attorney was like, well, this probably is going to be a problem. I'm like, what are you talking about? She's
Like,
like,
oh my gosh, what's going on?
What are you talking about? And I'm like, she's like, the Chris Stapleton song. And I was like, who? And we actually had to go see Chris Stapleton in concert because we went and listened to it on Spotify, but we had not heard it before. So
Whenever I first heard it, and I think I asked you on the phone about this, I was like, or it might have been you, that there's a movie out there, We Were Soldiers Once and Young, and Mel Gibson plays in it, and he's playing Colonel Hal Moore, and they're being overrun by the Vietnamese army, and he says, broken halo, broken halo, broken halo, meaning they're being overrun.
Right.
And that's what I thought that
Right.
you guys meant. And then I was like, man, that makes so much damn sense with the War Trail. I was like, God dang, these guys are going to bring the veterans in. Yes, indeed. And then he's like, you know, he told you got one of
Drinking
you told me
story.
the drinking story, and I was like,
Drinking
well,
story,
that makes sense too. And then the Chris Stapleton thing, I think Chris Stapleton, he's an old Kentucky boy, loves some bourbon. Not that his whiskey is good, but I'm just telling the truth. I'm a truth teller. It's not an unknown secret out there. Hey, buy it if you love it. It's cheap. So, but that story, something was born of fun times and as memories.
we were
and
in
stuff.
Nashville.
Yeah,
It
we
was-
were in Nashville.
My
had a
question
blast.
is, did you go and eat a recession special at Robert's Western World?
No. We that was probably part of our problem. We didn't eat anything. We were just drinking.
Exactly.
Guy Ferrer made me a fried bologna sandwich in there. Recession special is a fried bologna sandwich, a bag of Lay's chips, a moon pie, and a PBR beer for $6. You can't go wrong with that, right?
No way.
Fried bologna.
Fried bologna,
I love it.
beer is good. Well, we're up against the first half,
Okay.
and I've had a great time so far.
We
had
love
fun.
sharing our story. I mean, we just love talking about it.
Well, I love you sharing your story, even the stories about being hungover at a campground, and a couple that drinks together stays together.
That's right.
That's what I say.
In a
Well-
campground, yeah.
Well, on the second half, we're going to come back. We're going to taste some craft strength whiskey. I'm pretty excited about this. And then we're going to taste an experimental wheat. I've been bugging you guys about making a wheated bourbon. Surprise, listeners. Big Chiefs, bugging them about that. But if you notice the color shirt I have on, this is a Longhorn shirt, but it supports veterans. But what I'd like to say to you is I partnered lately with Frontline Heroes Outdoors. We're in Atlanta, Texas, the deer capital of the world here. Frontline Heroes Outdoors gets veterans into the outdoors, first responders and outdoors, helps them relieve that stress, gives them camaraderie of like-minded people. I'd really appreciate it. I know my niece is going to stick that QR code right up here for you. Click on that QR code, pause it, take a photo of it with your phone, and then give some money to them. Help take these veterans and first responders into the outdoors. They do hunting, fishing, hiking. They do therapy, massage therapy. They go to football games, basketball games. It is a great organization. 100% of your money will go back to help those veterans. I'll guarantee you that. Stick with us, and we'll be right back. Leaper's Fork Distillery is an artisan distillery working to bring back the history and heritage of a small batch whiskey production to Williamson County. The distillery crafts premium spirits using local ingredients and limestone filtered water to create superior spirits with a signature taste. Yeah, I love their wheated bourbon.
Leaper's Fork Distillery is characterized primarily as a low-volume, low-impact concept of production. They are excited and honored about bringing back a lost art and industry to a county that always puts its history and heritage at the forefront. Visit them today at leapersforkdistillery.com.
Hey, it's old Big Chief, and yeah, we're back for the second half here at War Trail Spirits. I got these two jokers on here with me, the crazy married distillers here. And what's in my second glass right
This
here?
is our barrel strength version. So this is 115 proof. This will be interesting because these are within the same 6 barrels. So the only real difference between the two is the proof. But what I notice is that the rye goes away. This to me is like orange creamsicle.
You get that ooh, and then the tastes come out. Now, we originally weren't going to bottle this. We were actually, when we first opened up, we needed to get a flight together, and we just had the County Road and the Broken Halo 94, and we're like, what else are we going to do? We're like, why don't we just try it at the barrel strength? So we did. We had quite a bit of reaction on it. I was like, oh my gosh, is this for sale? And I'm like, no, we're just on the tasting, whatever. So long story short, we're like, okay, well, how quickly can I get because we opened the tasting room last October, and by November, they're like, maybe you should be bottling. The whole rage is higher proof, whatever. And we got the label ready. We launched it just right after Thanksgiving. We only did about 100 bottles, and we sold out before Christmas.
Wow.
So I said, oh my gosh, we had something here, and we didn't even know we had it.
It is absolutely beautiful. And people ask me why I do this, or they'll ask me, what's your favorite whiskey, Big Chief? And I'm like, the whiskey I love is the whiskey I find tomorrow. Out on the trail, right? Out on the Texas Whiskey Trail, on the War Trail. You got the Big Chief hunting for scalps, I guess. And I found a whiskey right here, I think, that I might say it's so unique because it's 80-20. These vanilla notes are just popping out, like you said, that orange creamsicle. I'd like to say orange marmalade. Those orange spice candies that were sitting in that crystal dish for 20 years, and you chew into one, and it sticks to your teeth, and you can't open your mouth. But the taste of it is just so enticing, you get another one. That spice off of that, and the orange together, I get that in this whiskey right here. Super beautiful. The nose on it matches the palate to a T, right?
Yeah.
The sweetness on this, I'm adoring it. And then you say orange creamsicle, I'm starting to get a little bit of that cream that coats the mouth. Especially when I drink creamer in my coffee. I use heavy whipping cream in my coffee, and it makes your coffee a little thicker.
Coats it and gives you that long taste.
Yeah.
It really it helps, and it's the proof is 115, but we like to say it's an approachable 115 because that initial taste that you have, it's not harsh. It's not like, oh my gosh, I just burnt my tongue, I can't feel anything. It's like you drink it and it stays the same, and then you feel the warmth come up, and it's just like, there's those tastes.
And what's the age on this right here?
4 years.
4 years old.
4 years old.
I'm simply amazed at it. I will put this possibly, I think I will, is I'll put this in my end of the year reviews and put it up for my whiskey of the year in a blind against the probably 4 or 5 other expressions I've had throughout the year. I really love the taste of this. It's pretty. That orange marmalade is just kicking on my palate, and I'm surprised. But I'm never surprised about a Texas whiskey that's 4 years old. And I know a lot of people out there, listeners, are like, "Man, Texas whiskeys have that funk on there. This has no funk. There's none of that going on here. It hasn't been overcooked or anything. And this was cooked on that steel right there.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah. I'm amazed. And I know some of you traditionalists out there can be like, it's on an ice steel. You're hurting my feelings. I don't care. What matters is, I don't care how beautiful the bottle is, how sexy the label is. I don't care what the name on the bottle is. If the whiskey tastes good, that's all that matters. When it touches your lips, touches your tongue, hits your nose, and you're like, "Ooh, baby, this is it right here." I hats off to you.
I think I'm gonna blush.
Yeah.
Well, thank
Oh, thank you.
And I don't do that every episode. I don't say, "Hey, this is the best whiskey I tasted this year," at all. I say, "Hey, let's see how it competes against these other 4 or 5
right.
out there that I tasted, and then we'll go from there." But man, that's pretty spectacular.
It sticks around for a long time. It's the part of the ice still is distillation on grain. So it tends to coat your mouth, coats ice. You know, it sticks around.
Now, you were talking about learning curves before, and that package you got in today is a new chiller, right?
Yep.
And you moved from Houston, you moved up here to the Hill Country. We're at about 1,100 to 1,500 feet in elevation, depending on where you're at here in the Hill Country. Some people were like, "I didn't know Texas had hills." They do have hills,
Yes.
and it's stunningly beautiful up here. They call this God's country.
And that's right.
It is the
it's
most
amazing.
beautiful.
You
We've
fall
been-
in love instantly.
Yeah,
And we
yeah.
came out here about 10 years ago, and on our first family trip, when we first moved to Texas, and we were just like, wow. And
We
we went
drove
back home,
past-
and we got a real estate agent on the line. We're like, we need to find some land.
Right now.
Only thing that's missing on this name is, I'm telling you, I'd have to change the name of this to War Trail. This is fire right here. It is. I would, put a big old giant Big Chief arrowhead on this and let's rock it. Yeah, you can call it the Big Chief if you want to. I love it because I'm a little sweet myself, so that's what my wife says. She's like, "Your little sugar on lips, baby." Yes, that's what this is right here. I love that and it's your guys' proof that 80-20, you're not trying to be something else. You're trying to be yourselves.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I love that. I also love that, you two come to Texas like old Sam Houston did, right? Like Davy Crockett, like Jim Bowie. And you left, to me, it seems like you left New York behind, the New York way of
yeah.
life, and you've embraced Texas,
Yeah,
right?
we were all in.
Right. Well, growing up, I think I grew up on a farm, and my first Christmas I can remember, I asked for spurs for my cowboy boots. So, I remember in Christmas in snowy Buffalo, New York, walking around in the snow with my chink, chink, chink. So I wanted to be a Texan.
Oh, Ralphie
Way-
I know, right?
Ralphie over here from the Christmas Story.
Every time he tells me that story.
I wanted to be a Texan.
Did you have the little Red Ryder BB gun?
Oh, yeah. We had
Sure he did.
the hat, the whole works.
Listen here, Black Bart.
Which one's going to draw faster?
How many times have I watched that movie, folks? Well, I love it right here. I think hats off to you on distilling something special that gets my attention. And when I drink this many expressions, it does sometimes, it's hard to pinpoint something that I'm just like, man. But I love that you took me back to that memory of that crystal bowl on my grandma's living room table and stealing that piece of orange slice candy, and just tasting that. That's what whiskey's supposed to do. It's supposed to bring back good memories and bring kind of a tear to your eye and say, man, I remember that day
Yep.
with Grandma and Grandpa,
You tend to gravitate to things that give you a good experience, and it's great when you eat something, drink something, or feel something, and it brings back a memory that you have cherished. Or something.
Definitely. And this, I gotta say this, it's got a long finish on it. The spice is staying right there with me, right on my mid palate. It's got me salivating a little bit, folks. It's just that good. I probably sit here and drink a whole bottle of this. I probably wouldn't be able to walk very straight, but I'd get her done. I'm in my cowboy boots today, so it's just, I can't say enough good things about this glass. The legs on it are beautiful, it's nice and sticky. Man. So you guys, you're thinking about other things, and you're still kind of new to this, and you're like Play-Doh, right? Mm-hmm. You're molding each other into what this needs to be.
Right.
I see changes in here. There's more changes to come, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we're inspired by others. You know, we want to make things our own, you know, so we want to be true to what we like. And, you know, our goal, you know, easier drinking Texas bourbon, something that can be an everyday drinker, maybe a little bit more upscale, but an everyday drinker. These are, you know, our goals. And whatever we make, it's got to fall in that category. We want it to be drunk, not just put on a shelf as a prestige bottle. You know, the bottles look good and all that stuff, and all those things it has to be.
Right.
But we want it to be something that is enjoyed. And you don't feel guilty because you spent so much money for it. When you take it down, you're like, oh, geez, that was $22 a shot.
I think on the newness side of it, as a distiller, and obviously Bernard here, he's more on the sales end, so he's like, what's new, what's new, what's new? And you kind of get that too from your customers and your client. They're coming in, and it's just like, what's coming up down the road, whatever. And I'm like, I just launched this. Can I just get some more of this done?
Let's get you to buy all this.
That's right. It's like, what's new?
Well, if you buy all of this, I can afford the grain to make the next
That's
one.
right.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
That's exactly.
And it's going to take 4 years
Yeah.
from
Yes.
today,
so
or
it's
5
not
years.
Like it's
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
pop out the next day.
Yeah.
And we're still learning now that our aging is in Llano. You know, we're still learning what is the age going to be here. You know, we tasted through some whiskey yesterday.
Oh yes, some of the stuff in our barns where we do our storing, and we did it over Thanksgiving just to see.
And there's
And
some
it's-
good stuff there.
I think we're going to do a single. I think single barrel is going to be what we're barrel
Yeah.
pick is what we're going to focus
Yeah.
in on down
Yeah.
the road
Wow.
here.
Yeah. We have some fun stuff there that we put in the barrels at different proof points, and just trying to experiment what is it going to be like aging in Llano. And
It is definitely accelerating.
it is accelerated.
So I don't know if we'll
aging.
get 4 years, but as I say, it's going to be ready when it's ready.
Right. She's
Well,
the
I-
ultimate decision.
Well, I think in Texas, you do have to think about that. Hey,
Yeah.
it is ready once ready. I can't leave it in there any longer.
Right.
But otherwise, the angels are getting drunk on it.
Oh my goodness, yes.
And you want to talk about some broken halos.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you don't want the angels to fall out of heaven.
Yeah.
Uh,
So this is a single barrel that was done. Actually, you see it dumped right there, so you can see how much we lose. It's you know, a third gone. This was 3 years, 9 months, and 19 days. This is a 3-grain. Corn, barley, triticale. Triticale is an unusual grain to mess with, and it's more complex.
a lot of European countries are growing a lot of that, and I know some farmers are going to that. It's like a hybrid between a rye and a wheat.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's several distillers out there now that are making a triticale whiskey. The number one is the Dry Fly out there. It's a different grain, and it has to be respected and stuff.
Yeah.
I think
Yes.
it's kind of like rice. I think distillers are trying to become their own, and I love that you are a Texas distillery, and this is still from Texas. This
Yeah.
grain is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And where are you getting your grain from?
MBS seed out of Denton.
This has a different nose on it. Now, this might have a little bit of that Texas funk
Yes.
that I was
Yeah.
saying
Yeah.
before.
Yes, exactly.
Yep.
And I'm trying to think of what that is.
It's a weird one because we just last weekend we did something fun on one of our tastings.
That'll be this one here.
Oh, that one there? Yeah.
So
I'm
this
getting
is
a-
a 4-grain with
A
wheat.
little charred marshmallow on this. I think that's the note I'm picking up.
Yeah, triticale often to me is hard to describe. It's I get like molasses or like that chewy molasses candy or something like this.
I'm getting s'mores all over this right here, like that chocolate and that
Maybe-
marshmallow and the graham cracker in this. Man, I'm telling you, that's pretty fire too. The nose does not match the palate on this. That's what was kind of throwing
Yeah.
me off. But the palate on this is just, it's still. I don't think it has as much Texas funk on the palate as it
Yeah.
does on the nose.
And this was 118 proof, so this was definitely the hottest. You know, and that's a barrel dump that we just dumped out. The barrel was disintegrating. We couldn't get it any
Right.
longer.
So you got that over in a barrel right now, and out in a storage barrel. And do you feel like because it's, I'd say 2/3 full, and you got air getting to it.
Yeah.
Do you think over time before you bottle it, will it change the flavors and profiles of it a little bit?
We're probably going to bottle it in the next week or so and wait for a label for it. We're not sure what to do with it. You know, that this is, you know, the challenge of
Yeah.
doing experiments. You know, when we made it, we weren't sure we liked it. And then it got better every year. I think if it could have gone longer, I think we would have done it longer. But
Right.
a lot of the challenge you have with barrels that were purchased during COVID that we're getting from Kentucky, and they don't make them the same specs. You know, we were getting catch what you catch can, and this one just didn't hold
What
up.
barrels are you using right now?
We're using our barrels are 53s out of we get them right now from Zach in Kentucky, but we're getting we're gonna experiment with some barrels made in Texas from the new cooperage there in Blanco that's opening
Yeah.
up.
Really?
We're
And-
excited about that. To
But
try
most of your
test.
barrels are from Zach Cooperage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might know those folks. Jessica, and Zach. I call them a power. They're a whiskey power couple, for sure. You know, as I'm sipping on this right here, I'm getting a little bit of Mexican flan
Yeah.
on this. It's very sticky,
Right.
not overly sweet, but it lets you know, hey, I'm a dessert. And even at 118 proof, it's not overly spicy to my palate. And
Yeah.
maybe that triticale is. Do you find that it's calming that recipe down a little bit?
We found that it was highly irregular.
Yeah.
You know, in the Texas heat, it acts very different by barrel, and you know, one barrel next to the next could be very, very different. And that was a bit of our challenge with it. We're like, okay, what do we do with this? You know, ultimately, I think we'll continue with these experiments, but these will all be single barrel releases because it doesn't fit our standard profile of flavor. It's too weird, and they can be wildly different by barrel.
Sure.
So, you know, that will be what it ends up being. It'll be
This one we
single.
probably will just maybe might be exclusive just to the tasting room.
I think this is a perfect kind of single barrel. The only problem with single barrels, I mean, for you guys, exclusively to the tasting room is great. If I was doing a barrel pick, I try to seek these out right here
Yeah.
because I want that one off that nobody else can get in a store or online. I want it to have my brand on it, right, and my
Sure, right.
my tasty notes. I would look for something like this.
Okay.
You know, as a guy that's picked barrels before, you know, this is the kind of whiskey I'm looking for a barrel pick. Now, I always get outvoted, you know, because there's guys out there that just have straight up bourbon palates and they can't take their mind away from that. But I don't want everything that else is on the shelf. I want something that's funky, it's got that oomph to it, it's ready to battle. It wants me to get on a war trail.
That's right.
As a big chief, I want to go out there and go to war for sure. And this would do it right here, man. Yeah, Mexican flan in a glass right here. Emiliano, if you're listening to this, buddy, you better come get a glass of this from these fine folks here at War Trail. Okay,
Last one.
last one.
This is a wheated one. So wheat, corn, barley, triticale, 4 grain. This is a 3-barrel dump. They were just shy of 3 years, just shy of 4 years, but also the barrels were disintegrating, so they couldn't go any longer. And we have about 140 gallons of this. Right now, as it stands in the tank, it's 109 proof,
Yeah.
just shy of 110. This one we proofed down to 97. If you drink it straight, you know, neat at 97, all the flavors come out. 105, I think, is what we're going to bottle it at. We did a tasting at a liquor store the other day with a bunch of bourbon junkies, and they like the 105, 109 proof.
Now, if you told me this was a barrel-aged gin, by the nose,
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's so many botanicals in this,
Yeah.
almost like I'm picking some berries off a cedar tree and put them in my hand and smelling them.
Yeah.
Very botanical.
Yeah.
Like,
The cherry notes seem to stick around on this one a little bit. And our new make has a lot of cherry notes. So now every third barrel, we're having it striped insides, and we're trying to keep some of those cherry notes that we get out of our new make.
What's the proof on this?
97 on that one.
I'd love to see what this tastes like at barrel strength.
At we have it at 109.
Yeah, we're 109.
A little thin for me, for my
Yeah.
palate, I think. You know, and when I think of a weeded bourbon, this has triticale in it, though, right?
Yes.
Yes.
4 grain.
I tend to think, you know, weeded bourbons need that higher proof for
Okay.
myself. And why I say that, because I got a standard bearer, you know, as well, or 107.
Okay.
How can you go wrong with that antique,
Right. Yeah.
It's if anybody out there's like, it's not good, you're lying to yourself. You just can't get a bottle of it. That's why you're saying that. But I think it's a great whiskey. I love to see what you distilled it at. You know, that's,
Yeah.
and I tell people that all the time. I want to, if you put it in the bottle, and I would respect you for that right there. But I also want to see what it came, how it came out of that barrel, and you're like, okay, I can get what her mind was doing that
Right,
day, and
yeah.
what she was thinking, what kind of music you were even listening to. You know, what were you jamming out to? He said he is a heavy metal guy.
She likes the Bee Gees. So.
I was just going to say it's the Bee Gees.
That's my wife's jam right there.
I'm all in there.
That's your genre right there.
It is, yeah.
I can respect some Bee Gees, yeah. Get that little Saturday Night Fever.
That's right.
Hey, there ain't
I'll
nothing
come
wrong
in
with
here and she'll be.
there's nothing very good that they're just getting that low or
That's
very
right.
high
Just getting
voice.
down with the Bee Gees, miss. Having some fun.
I still, at second sip, man,
It's complicated.
it is. My mind is racing here, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
You got me thinking as a whiskey drinker, man, what am I getting in this and stuff? I would still almost say, God Almighty, this is if you just said, Big Chief, we got something special for you. We didn't tell you what it was. Maybe it's that triticale that's giving me those botanical notes in this. But lots of chocolate, lots of that cherry.
Yeah.
Man, it is almost a fruity pebbles of whiskey right here.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah, I
we
guess
actually,
that's a good way of saying
we were
it.
toying around with the label for this because we are going to bottle this as, and I think we're going to call it I'm Complicated.
Well, that's what you say, yes.
If we can get that past the TT.
You should never tell your wife that she's complicated. You've been married longer than I have, but I'm just saying that. I don't know. I've never tell my wife, you know what, you're complicated. I just turn on the radio and keep driving down the road.
Keep driving, right, exactly. Well, 30 years here, so not a dull moment on this end.
Hey, marriage is it can be complicated, and 30 years, congratulations.
Thank
You
you.
know, I think that's a rarity in America today.
Yeah.
That,
It
and
was
I'm
always easy, too.
I'm imagining that we're around the same age, if you've been married that long, and that, you know, it does take a lot of work and willpower and to go into business together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Takes, but I'm imagining you're at her side at every step, and the same thing. You're both each
Yeah.
other's champion,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? And that's important stuff. Well, what a beautiful whiskey this is right here. Still, I love the complicated because it makes my mind race and thinking, man, what was she doing that day? What was she thinking when she put this mash bill together? What temperature did you cook it at? You know, what kind of barrel did you use? There's all kinds of stuff there.
Right.
And even what kind of water did you use to proof this down with and stuff. Now there's some falsities here.
Yeah.
We have granite here in this county, but there's also limestone here.
Yeah.
And a lot of people say there's no limestone in Texas.
No,
Oh, no,
we
there's
we actually did our first run with ultra purified raw water when we moved the still here.
Yes.
And the yeast hated it. So now we are using filtered town water, which is from the river.
Llano
So
River.
a lot of minerals in it. The yeast love it. It's the perfect pH. It works great.
And you're using Firm Solutions yeast,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pat Heist and Shane Baker, I don't even know what the term to call them. They're just super respected in the whiskey community as helping out other distilleries. Their yeast works. They love heavy metal.
Yeah, well.
So
There you go. It's a perfect marriage.
perfect marriage. And it makes great whiskey.
It makes
I tell you
whiskey,
that.
Yes. Makes it work.
Listeners, you see these 3 bottles right here, and these 2 jokers right here. They shocked me in the half because I was like, "Hey, can we get a cap and could we get a bottle of whiskey for a giveaway?" But they want to give all 3 of their expressions away here, and we're going to do that right now. What you got to do to win this giveaway is you got to post an emoji of a deer because. I mean, you come to Llano, Texas, you drink whiskey here at War Trail, and you go kill yourself a deer. That's what they do here. Drink whiskey and kill deer. As long as you're eating it, that's all that matters. It's like it doesn't matter how you drink it, just drink whiskey.
That's right.
So
Yep.
I got to respect you for that. But we're going to give away these 3 expressions. They got your 80 proofer,
County Road.
and then we got your 90 proofer, 95 proofer.
94.
94.
Broken Halo.
And then we got the cast strength Broken Halo. So emoji of a deer, you got to tag 4 friends and tell them about War Trail. That's what we're trying to do is bring attention to these craft distillers out here. And you got to follow War Trail on Instagram, on Facebook. Are you guys on YouTube?
No, but we do try to keep on Instagram. We do our own posts.
You dance on TikTok?
No.
Oh,
no,
well,
no.
I got
Badly.
him really good the other day with
So
a couple weeks
do
ago.
we do try to show you a little bit about on our Instagram or Facebook. We do try to show you what it's like
The real life.
being a distiller. So whenever we make a mistake, we do try to take pictures of it. So we'll
It kind of makes some fun. of
Bernard,
ourselves
I don't
sometimes.
want to see you dancing on TikTok in that Buffalo Bills thong,
Well,
man.
he is a master. He is a master at glycol cleanup.
Yeah.
Him and Mr. Shop Vac there.
Yeah. She got me shop vacuuming some glycol because we burst a hose at 3 a.m., shot 40 feet across the distillery.
Oh,
The
man.
floor was covered. And that's slick.
Okay. So an emoji of a white-tailed deer or a buck or whatever you want to put up there. Tag 4 friends. Follow War Trail Spirits on Instagram, Facebook, and then follow the Whiskey Trip. You know how to do it, right? You got to be 21 years of age. I'm going to verify your age, and you got to reside in the United States. You'll have this all week long. Every post I put out, make sure that you're participating, entering to win and stuff. I'm paying attention to who's putting the most out there, tagging the most friends. You don't just have to tag 4. You can tag 1,000. Let's get some shine on this distillery right here. Help this craft distillery out here sell some whiskey. That's what
Let's
it's
do
all
it.
about right there. So put in for it. I'd appreciate it. I'll pick a winner on Monday night at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Yeah, that's what time I do it. I need to figure sometimes I'm late. I apologize for that, but I get busy with life. I have a wife that I have to take care of. I have a mother-in-law lives with me, and I have a job, and I have a dog, a Woodrow, the whiskey dog. So I got a lot of competing interests. Plus, I love to hunt myself, and I love to watch football. So sometimes I get sidetracked. I got ADD. What can I say? I love everything. I love everybody. So where can we find you? Tell listeners where they can find you at on social media.
You can find us in Central Texas. We're as far out as San Antonio, Austin, across Central Texas. We're in about 42 independent liquor stores. We're not in Twins or Specs yet. That'll be a goal for this coming year. You can buy our stuff online, fulfilled by a third party, right through our website, wartrailspirits with an S on the end.com.
Yep. Just do it.
And you can check out our website. We got some interesting things, why we named the distillery War Trail, a little bit about Texas history, and a little bit about us, and some fun stuff.
We really didn't even talk about War Trail and the Comanche that were here.
That's right.
And there was actually a Indian Wars here
Yeah.
in the county here.
One of the last battles between the Comanche Indians and the settlers happened here in Llano County, Pack Saddle Mountain, which is a couple miles out of town.
There's a lot of stuff to do here in Llano, right? There's breweries
yeah.
here, there's coffee houses and
Yeah,
stuff.
sure.
It's beautiful here. You can drive right down the road and go over to San Sab and get yourself some pecans.
Cooper's original barbecue location is here in Llano, the very original one. You have Emmons Barbecue. This is for a town of 3,500 people. There's
Always seems to be something going on.
There's something going
They
on.
put on a couple festivals each year too. They've got the
every
music
store
festival.
every store is full, and independent shops, locals, with neat goods. It's a fun town.
I'm excited. I'm excited
Super
about
friendly.
it, folks. Come to Llano. Come visit War Trail. Come in here and have some cocktails. You guys got an amazing cocktail bartender in there that you just whip them out and stuff. I'm excited to try some. I know my wife over there. I think she's already had a couple cocktails. I see her slipping, so she's about to take a ride with old Big Chief for sure. Well, thank you two so much for doing the giveaway for my listeners, for my viewers and stuff. I know that one lucky listener is going to win these 3 bottles. That's a pretty big giveaway right there. You know, and I do appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate you guys coming out. I mean, you know, going to visit these, all the young distilleries need help, and, you know, just getting the word out is super important, and we appreciate it.
Hey, old Big Chief is the king of craft whiskey for sure. Listen to me. I'm going to find these craft distillers out there. Well, once again, thanks for inviting me into your house and sharing your whiskey with me. I can't say thank you enough. But listeners, you know where you can find old Big Chief. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, on TikTok, and now on YouTube at The Whiskey Trip, right? Make sure you hit that subscribe button on YouTube if you would. You know, my goal for next year is to get 1,000 subscribers on there. I'd really love that. That's 750 more, I think, somewhere around there. So let's keep going. Let's keep pushing it. Tell your friends about my YouTube channel. The more I get on there, the better it's going to be. The more I can do, the more equipment I can buy. I don't know how much more equipment I can really need, but I could always use something new. I'm like a kid in a candy store. But if you're listening to me, listen to Mark and Matt on The Bourbon Life on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, iHeartRadio. You can find us anywhere. But if you're listening to us, you're listening to them, you like what Matt and Mark are doing on The Bourbon Life, leave us that 5-star review and some comments on Apple Podcasts. Now, what that does, it opens up the doors to distilleries like War Trail Spirits here. It gets great guests on my show like these two jokers right here. Yeah. They have fun. They have a great conversation with me. But it helps me put out great content for you to make it to that 30 minutes of boring drive to work and then back home. I want to do that for you. I want to give you something to kind of drown out the day of work or the thoughts of, hey, what am I going into work for? So, and then when you get home, you're going to get online, go to wartrailspirits.com.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And order yourself some of their whiskey. I guarantee you that. So I really appreciate it. If you come in here to War Trail Spirits, when's your tours?
We do them Tuesdays and Wednesdays for free, and then we've taught one of our bartenders how to do the tour, because usually we're out on sales Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So
No time.
we don't no charge, no
Impromptu.
time, impromptu.
We just love sharing the story. So
Yeah.
if you're here, you
Yeah.
want a tour, just ask.
All right. I love it.
We're trying to make super fans,
Well,
personal connections.
I'm a super fan now. I'm gonna have to try to get an extra bottle from you to take home to put on my shelf, and so we can make this final show of the year. And folks, my final show of the year will be coming up. I'm gonna actually sit down with my little brother in Georgia, and he's gonna help me pick my whiskey of the year, blind.
Cool.
We're gonna video it, and we're gonna see which comes out on top.
Awesome.
War Trail Spirits, their Broken Halo cast strength is going up there against some giants.
Woo! Let's do this.
Yeah. So keep listening, keep hanging out with me. I appreciate your support. Like I said right before the half, Frontline Heroes Outdoors. I want you to go and support them. You can make a donation to them. Get those veterans, those first responders back into the outdoors. I'd really love you to do that. One last thing for this giveaway right here. I've got a new sponsor coming for 2026. Guardian Coins is going to be my new sponsor, and I have a personalized challenge coin. If you're a veteran, you know what I'm talking about. If you're not a veteran, look up challenge coins. But I'm going to have one. It's an arrowhead, and I'm going to give away one of those coins with this set right here. You'll be the first person to receive one of Big Chief's challenge coins. So put it for this giveaway, and I can't say thank you enough for listening, to follow me, to support me. I really appreciate it. This is old Big Chief, and thanks for taking this ride with me, baby.